Bitcoin emergency update. I have good news and I have bad news. We need to be aware of the short term likelihood of what's going to happen and then the medium term. And today I'm going to cover both. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's dive straight into Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, we have this very interesting chart pattern that we want to be aware of. Remember that the market, the price action is just representing psychological mood, the crowd herd psychology. So what's the good news? By the way, before I go into the good news and the bad news, I want to invite you to the R15 Crypto Gym because we've just launched the Bitcoin workout where we do daily detailed analysis every day, literally every day. And it looks like this. You get detailed analysis on exactly what's happening, why, momentum, pattern, price, and time. So I do the heavy lifting for you. And you can try it all out for as little as £1. So with Bitcoin, right, this is what I want to get across today, is we've had this wave structure, right? Recently, we've had a nice move down, and the last couple of days, a big move up. We want to pay attention to this structure over here. Now, I'm just going to zoom in. There's a couple of things that we want to pay special attention to. This is what you call an overlapping wave structure. Now, we wouldn't know in advance if it was going to unfold like this. But now in hindsight, we go, it's got an overlapping wave structure. And that's a signal of a correction. So what's the good news? Well, after a correction and you get a big move that takes out a swing high, you normally get a continuation of the prior trend. So what does that mean and why is that good news? Well, short term is likely we're going to see Bitcoin because it's got a nice trend up here. Then it's had a corrective move to the downside. More often than not, what will occur next, and the momentum will support this, the immediate momentum is bullish. We're more than likely going to see, that's what these lines are, these Fibonacci ratios. We're more than likely going to see a continuation above this point and into this range. So we're probably going to see Bitcoin go towards 26,000 and maybe even a bit higher towards 27, 29, maybe even 30,000 Bitcoin. So that's the good news. What's the bad news? Well, we want to be aware of this. Now, no one knows exactly what's going to happen, but the probability, we can really look at the probability. There's a couple of key factors that most people miss, and I want to bring this to your attention today. So Bitcoin has clearly made some type of move up, but it's corrective in its nature. What do I mean by corrective? Well, these in itself are overlapping waves. And even though we had a nice move up, this price came back down and closed in the range of the closing range of the prior swing. What the heck does that mean? That's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness and saying, it's telling us, it's warning us that the buying pressure is less than the selling, or the selling is higher than the buying. So even though we're probably going to see a nice impulsive move, corrections often finish in a 5-wave sequence. So the bad news is medium term, and we're going to take the weekly momentum into consideration. By the way, if you want this chart and this analysis and all my settings in the R15 Crypto Gym, you have a section called Crypto Charts, and I have quite a few charts. One of them is Bitcoin, and you can literally get my exact chart where you'll get the detailed analysis and you can copy it into your own trading view. You click over here and it will take you straight, and you can literally have all these settings. The reason I show you that is because I just want to pop out of this. In the top left-hand corner, I keep my weekly chart, and I just want to pay special attention to the momentum on the weekly. The weekly chart is a higher degree time frame. And what that means is the larger degree trend. And it tells us, because there's a saying in trading, the trend is your friend, ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. So this here is warning us. When Bitcoin reaches above this black line, these blue and red lines are above this black line over here, is something called overbought. And it says the rate of change is limited to the upside. And overall, we're probably going to see sideways to down, and the upside is probably going to be limited. And that supports the pattern position that we're talking about over here. But by the way, if you're brand new to Elliott Wave and you're not used to seeing patterns or talking about patterns, another thing that I've included, and you get all this for £1, you can try it all out for £1, is a 7-day boot camp to onboard you, 7-day boot camp, and you'll get training in Elliott Wave, the rules, the guidelines, Fibonacci ratios, some of my key lessons from some of my courses that I've just put into the bootcamp, so you can really, really get a flavor for what you should be doing and what you should be looking for. So I want to just bring this to your attention. So what's likely to occur? Really, really likely, highly probable. I'm looking for long trade setups now because of this immediate corrective pattern, this impulsive move to the upside. We're probably going to get some type of correction, not exceeding this low. It's unlikely, and then we're probably going to see a move to the upside. But expect it to be short-lived. Why? Because more often than not, when you see this kind of structure, this type of chart pattern, we're probably going to get a reversal and then a new low. That's so the good news. I was like, good news, bad news, right? Good news is over the next 3, 5, maybe 10 days, give or take, we're going to probably see sideways to up. Bitcoin moving towards 26, 30,000. It's natural. It's literally the psychology of the buying and selling behavior. The momentum is pointing up, the immediate momentum on the daily. And again, what I mean by that is this over here. The blue line is above the red. And basically momentum, there's thousands of momentum indicators. My favorite by far is the stochastics RSI, is what we're looking at over here. There's particular settings that I use, which you can get in the R15 Crypto Gym. When the blue line is above the red, it just tells us, it indicates to us. I mean, we can test it out. We can go, look at this. And we always want to be, again, with the trend, right? With the trend. If we just look at when the blue line went above the red, what did Bitcoin's price do? It went up. When the blue line went above the red, what did Bitcoin's price do? It went up. Now, because we've had this corrective pattern over here, when the blue line is above the red, well, what should we anticipate? Well, it moves up until it gets into this zone over here, and we want to pay special attention. I'm just going to now drop down to a lower degree time frame. So we've looked at the weekly. We're now looking at the daily chart. I'm going to look at the hourly chart. Why? Because the wave structure breaks down a bit clearer for us because there's more bars. You get literally 24 bars in a day, and this is the hourly chart. And what we can see with the hourly chart is we've clearly, since July 14th, thereabouts, we've clearly had this big movement up. We traded the short. We actually traded the short because we saw the market go down. It made a nice A, B, C correction. And at this point, this is important to note because most people get this wrong. Because most people based how good their trade was based on if they made what the outcome was. At this point over here, there was no way of knowing if Bitcoin was going to go really to a new extreme to the downside or if it was going to make a correction. And you can manage your trade to make profit either way. But this was the anticipation. But as the market unfolded, what we saw happen was overlapping waves, and it turned out to be a corrective structure. So it was quite evident at this point because the waves are overlapping. This is overlapping into this range. And then that indicates this is more like an A, B, C, D, E correction, second most common type of correction. Now that with Bitcoin, we've had this amazing surge to the upside. The price going above this swing high is a nice first indicator to us that this correction is over and this is probably going to hold. And this is a nice move to the upside. So now we just change our opinion of the market based on what we're seeing. This is the art and the science of trading. We don't stay fixed just because we like or dislike a coin. This is where Bitcoin is right now. So what's likely to occur in the immediate day or so? Well, after an impulsive move like this is like a 5-wave sequence, a 1, 2, very impulsive, 3, 4, 5. There's something called the guideline of equality. When wave 3, this is like a wave 3, very, very clear wave 3. If I just zoom in a bit more, I'm getting a bit of detail here, but I think it's valuable to you. A very impulsive wave 3 in the middle over here. When that's the case, wave 1 and wave 5 tend to equal each other. So what we're likely going to see in the immediate hours and half a day to a day is sideways to down. It's called a wave 2. And it's a retest of wave 1. This is like a microwave 1. So some type of correction like this. But the probability states that this low is unlikely to get exceeded. And then following a correction, if it does unfold like this and the daily momentum is still bullish, we're more than likely going to get a continuation to the upside. And normally the next leg up is bigger than the first leg. So what does that mean? So I'm going to do a bit of detail for you because these patterns unfold time and time again. And all we're measuring is the psychological mood of the buying and selling behavior. That's it, time and time again. So if this is the local top, let's just assume it is for now. What will typically occur more often than not is corrections takes 32 to 62% in time, right? In time. So by 3 p.m. to maybe midnight, so we're talking about a half a day to a day, give or take. We're more than likely going to see some type of A, B, C correction. More than likely. So we just always go with the probabilities, right? We just want to become the casino and have the edge in our favor. And then more often than not, it will come down to a minimum of 50%. This is the most typical, common buying and selling behavior of all markets, especially crypto. If, and the operative word is if this does occur, we will then look for a pattern reversal signal to go long, because there's potentially going to be some good movement to the upside. What I mean by pattern reversal signal, I'm just going to bring up the Crypto Gym. I'm just going to go into the BNB. We do workouts on BNB as well. And I've just got this over here. I put this together for the people in the gym. But there's a pattern reversal signal. So there's a few different pattern reversal signals. But I'm going to cover this with you because I think it's going to be valuable insight. Because you can totally ignore the news and just go by this. So what we're looking at is this kind of move. We've got this kind of move up. That's what we're talking about. We're going to anticipate. We don't know if it's going to unfold. Time will tell. But we're going to anticipate an A, B, and then a C. But a wave C will typically break down into a five-way structure. So then a good entry point is a move above the wave 4 of wave C. That will be a good signal that the wave C is likely to hold. A stronger signal would be a wave A overlap. So the price overlaps into the former wave A, which is actually here. Sometimes it's similar to the wave 4. And then what's a confirmation is if the price goes above and exceeds above a wave B. I said a lot there, right? That was a lot. I know. Everything is difficult before it's easy, right? It's why I created the R15 Crypto Gym. You get a lot of goodies in there. A lot of goodies. We do daily detailed Bitcoin analysis, BNB analysis, Solana, and you get all of it for £1. And the bootcamp will really upskill you. And you also get the charts and everything else. You also get an invite to my private Telegram. Phenomenal community. Everyone helps each other in a really, really good way. So what I'm going to do here, and we're going to finish on this, because we'll just see this time and time again. Look, it's not guaranteed. It's basically what I'm saying is if we see the following unfold in a predictable manner, that what we're saying, then there may be a long opportunity that may last for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and it could be quite impulsive. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to do a price target for you as well. So what we're looking at, remember what we're looking at here, we're just going to look at this over here. I'm going to draw it for you. We're going to look at this over here, this. That's what we're going to just picture that for a second. Let's just go back. All right, let's just draw this out. I want to really get this clear to you. So what we're looking for is we've got this wave A that we're talking about. Hasn't unfolded yet, right? So we're saying if it unfolds like this, well, then we get a correction to the correction, which is a wave B. And this wave C will typically break down into some type of 5-wave structure. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. If it is, and the momentum's on our side, we've hit price, we can do some other analysis as well. We're in this price zone, we're in this time zone. Then we basically say if the price goes above this wave 4 or wave 5, we can put a long position. So we go long, or entry, so we go long. And the stop loss will go below this. Why below here? Because this is the point that would void the wave count. So if we get triggered into the trade, that confirms that this got a good probability of holding, and we're looking for upside movement. And that's just the art and the science of trading. And then what you do is you have a minimum expectation and then the larger degree trend. I'm giving you a mini masterclass right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish on just the expectations, right? So if this is a wave 1, this over here, this is just like an impulsive move. And then if we do get a correction over here, more often than not, the next wave up is 1.618 of the former wave. Go, what you get? Say that again. Okay, we're going to measure this wave to here, the low to the high, and we're going to project it. Again, I'm totally forecasting here. Some people hate when people forecast, but look, more often than not, this is what will occur. The minimum expectation, well, Let me just pop that back in. Let me go back in. The minimum expectation is that Bitcoin will reach 24,500, give or take, if it unfolds like this. But more than likely, it will go to the 1.618, which also coincides with some other ratios, which is around 26,000. And it may even overextend beyond that as well. And we'll just pay very close attention. So immediate positions is long trades only. Why? Because the daily momentum with Bitcoin is pointing up. And that gives us a big clue. There's a shorter term trade, but it can be a very profitable trade and it can be very low risk at the same time. So join me for tomorrow's detailed workout for Bitcoin in the R15 Crypto Gym. You get to have all of this for £1, the charts, the bootcamp. We got a lot of goodies for you. A lot of goodies. If you like it, you stay. If you don't, then you get to keep some of the goodies. That's just life, right? That's just life. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification because I'm going to bring you daily value, daily insights. And we're looking at the pure technical position. What Ralph Nelson Elliott figured out in the 1800s and 1900s is psychology that drives all markets, fear and greed. So we can ignore the fundamentals. Yeah, we can ignore the fundamentals. I know people find that very difficult to get their head around because everyone's watching the news, they're watching this announcement, that announcement. It's positive, it's negative. This company's doing that. Elon Musk is saying this. Tesla's doing that. MicroStrategy's doing that. The SEC's doing this. That's all just noise. And we can ignore the noise and just look at the pure price action. And we can meditate on that and use momentum, pattern price, and time to give us a very strong edge where we become the casino. So today, I'm going to finish on a quote from my book, The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. It's one of my favorites, but it's important to know you can make money when you're wrong, and then you make a lot of money when you're right. And that's the real secret of and the science and the art of trading. Make a little bit of money when you're wrong. In other words, fight another day or break even or take a small loss. But when you're right, 20, 30, 40% of the time, you get to ride the trend. And that's the whole point over here. That's why I want to read this quote. It's Michael Jordan. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've missed. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Trading's the same. We took a shot with Bitcoin, we shorted it, made some good profits, but we were wrong. It was an overlapping wave structure. It was a corrective structure. We go, well, that's okay. We made some good profits. Now we've got a clear trend reversal. We got no fixation on being right or wrong. We're just going to ride the trends. We're just surfers. We're waiting for the next trend, the next wave. We see the wave. We'll wait for a pullback, jump on the wave, and then we'll ride it. And if it unfolds, great, we make good profits. If it doesn't unfold, make a small profit, break even, or take a small loss. And again, we just rinse and repeat. That's how you win the game. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Join me tomorrow for Bitcoin's detailed workout in the R15 Crypto Gym. £1. You get to test it all out. It's in the description link below. You absolutely love it. We're getting some phenomenal feedback. And just the analysis is based on what we're seeing today. Momentum, pattern price, and time. No emotion, no subjectiveness. It's just what is the price telling us? What's the edge? Let's identify it and let's use that edge and trade the edge consistently. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.